Hey, what up, guys? It's Ryan from the Spittin podcast, and I have a full slate video for you. Getting it to you a little later than I wanted to. I've been an absolute snotty mess this morning. The allergy monster woke me up with its dick in my mouth, so I've been basically snotty all day. But I wanted to get this video out right before 12 o'clock to try to get these games and lines in. I know we have a 12 o'clock Peacock game, so do as you will there. Don't worry, I don't have a play for that one, so relax. Um, so tomorrow, another full game slate. I think it's gonna be. I think I'm gonna experiment, and I'm gonna get a video out the night before. I think I'll get tomorrow's full slate video out probably tonight around 9 or 10 o'clock at night. Just try to get some early lines, try to get some early value, and see what we got. But with that being said, let's spend 1 or 2 minutes on each game today, try to run this through, and come out on the other side. Like I said, we got the Peacock game starting at noon. It's Brady Singer and the Kansas City Royals going to Detroit and facing Tariq Skubal. This is just an overall stay away spot for me. I think the over-under set at 7. And I think you get a play like minus 140 on Detroit now. So at the open at minus 120 on Skubal, I can understand it. But these offenses are bad. I don't feel comfortable backing anybody here. The only person I feel comfortable backing pitching-wise is Skubal, and you got to lay minus 140 on him now, so no value left on that. Just an easy stay-away spot for me. Moving forward, got a play on the Miami Marlin game and Washington Nationals. We have Pablo Lopez going on the bump against Eric Fetty. Let's see what the odds are for that. Current odds are Miami minus 135 and Washington plus 113 as a dog. Over-under set at 8.5. I got this game last night. I got Miami money line at minus 120. Obviously, we had $15 of steam since then. So I think the value is just about gone there. It was minus 140, and it was definitely gone at minus 140. 135, if it keeps trending in that direction, if it goes back to like maybe 130, I could definitely back it. I think that Washington is exactly what Pablo Lopez needed, a familiar team that doesn't hit that well, where Pablo can kind of get back to his pre-game or preseason form where, at the beginning of the year he had sub-1 ERA after 4 or 5 starts. So definitely backing the better pitcher here. I don't understand how, with this much of a pitching mismatch, that the line was minus 120. Obviously, the lineups hadn't been revealed yet, and it looks like the Marlins are going to kind of save some of their guys, but definitely a decent enough lineup that could get work done against Eric Fetty, and Pablo Lopez can shut anyone down. So I saw the value at minus 120 there. Milwaukee and Pittsburgh, we got Brandon Woodruff facing now Zach Thompson. It was going to be Quintana, but we got Milwaukee at minus 200 favorites. The over-under set at 8. Going to be another stay-away spot for me. I do think that Milwaukee's, in a really good form. They're one of the best teams in baseball right now. They've been hitting the shit out of the ball. Put up like 20 runs the other day. I will say this, though. I have respect for the Pirates lineup now. I think the baby Pirates have definitely shown me the light, if you will. They got guys like Michael Perez hitting 3 bombs a night. Sawinski came on the league, set it on fire. O'Neal Cruz is living up to the hype. Guys like Brian Haynes, which used to be kind of hyped up, they've kind of taken to the back seat because these new guys are so popping it off. So I like that lineup. I'm not going to back Woodruff. If you want to, at minus 200, if you want to back a run line, I totally get it, considering how good the Milwaukee's bullpen is. If it's a 2-run game, they can definitely keep it a 2-run game. And they're hot enough to the point where they can put up some runs. But other than that, I'm not going to touch it, and I didn't touch the run line as it is. So overall, easy stay-away spot for me. Next, Tampa Bay Rays and Shane Baz going against Ross Stripling and the Blue Jays. Obviously, Blue Jays better lineup here. And I think in the line you see that, yeah. Blue Jays minus 134 favorites. That's low for the Blue Jays, but I think it's because Shane Baz is really a good pitcher than his stats show. His stats show that he's actually worse than Stripling, but I think that's far from the truth. I think he's a much better pitcher from Stripling. He's a top prospect in the Rays organization. He has the potential to be, an elite guy with elite stuff. So definitely not a spot that I like backing either team here because the Rays are still kind of unhealthy, and I want to see that lineup get healthy and start producing because, month of June they were pretty lethargic looking, I would say, at the dish. I would want to, I'm going to sit back. I'm going to pay attention to this game because I am going to watch the Rays hitting. They might be a good target for July. However, as they get healthy, let's see if they can pick up the pace as far as hitting goes. And like I said, Shane Baz is a better pitcher, but he has the tougher matchup, so I'm not going to back him up here. Overall, just easy stay away spot. Next game wasn't a stay away spot, though. I have the Texas Rangers money line. I took the Rangers plus 125. It's now plus 124. Rangers with John Gray going against the Mets and Carlos Carrasco. Carlos Carrasco minus 144 favorite with the Mets over under set at 8. Listen, I think the Rangers are the better hitting team right now. I think the Mets are finally getting that regression that we expected them to have. They hit so well at the beginning of the year. They were kind of hitting over their shoes. And we kind of all knew that. We were waiting for them to show us that regression. It looks like it's finally come. Over the last 30 days, the Mets were they introduced themselves into the bottom 10 half of the league in hitting, and then over the last 14 days, they have made themselves quite comfortable in the basement. They are the worst team in WRC+. Like I said, sorry, I gotta snot real quick. It's been rough today. I swear, I wake up and it's just like, oh, I'm not doing anything but snotting today. Oh, excuse me. Anyways, so like I said, WRC plus the Mets are at the very bottom of the league. They face a guy in John Gray I'm a John Gray guy. I think he's a good pitcher. He's got a 26% K rate, slugging a .413, expected batting average of .248. That is all better than his opponent, Carlos Carrasco, who, like I said earlier, is the favorite. Really the only thing going for Carlos Carrasco is he doesn't walk people. But you look at the hitting form of these two teams, they're in complete different stratospheres. Texas Rangers are in the top 10 in hitting. They're actually in a little bit of a heater at the plate, if you will. And the Mets are just the opposite. They're in the very bottom. So I had the better pitcher with the better hitting team at plus money. I get there on the road, so I found value on that. If you want to go first 5 and eliminate the bullpens, I can't blame you there, but I will say this. Texas Rangers bullpen is slightly better stats-wise than the Mets. Take it for what you will. Moving forward, Atlanta and Charlie Morton going against Luis Castillo and the Cincinnati Reds. I'm not going to back any team here. The Braves, obviously, with Morton, who's not the better pitcher, in my opinion, in this case. I think Luis Castillo is the better pitcher of the two. But with Morton, you have to lay 170. And the over-under is set at 8.5. I just don't find value at minus 170. I don't want to jump in front of the Braves at plus 142 for Castillo. And the over-under, I think Castillo is a guy, the Reds might not hit. And if the Reds don't hit, you're not really surprised. You'd be much more surprised if the Braves didn't hit. And Luis Castillo is the type of guy that sees an opportunity like this to have a big game and he takes it. Sometimes he can go 8 innings in these spots. Wouldn't be surprised if he gets hit. Would not be surprised whatsoever if he goes deep into the game limits at Atlanta. So overall, just an easy stay away spot for me. I had value in other spots of this game anyways. So we'll just move on forward. Next game, we have the New York Yankees facing the Cleveland Guardians. Yankees aren't going to have Judge in the lineup by the looks of it. They're kind of doing on their punt lineups, but we've seen the Yankees do this all year. They kind of give out these random lineups that after 1 through 4, it's complete, your best guess on who's going to hit where. And the Yankees just seem to win. They kind of keep turning it out. Here they are minus 158 favorite going against Tristan McKenzie and the Guardians at plus 134. Over under is set at 7.5. I got to be honest with you, I don't see any value across the board there. This 7.5 over is at plus 100, so it might move to 7. If it moves to 7, absolutely, I would take that. I get the Yankees are kind of punting with their lineup, but Tristan McKenzie's not necessarily a guy that scares me. And I got to be honest, neither is Jordan Montgomery. Jordan Montgomery is about as pitch contact as you can get, and the Cleveland Guardians, they don't strike out. So they're one of those teams that put the ball in play, run the hell out of the bases. You know, they got guys up and down, Straw, Kwan, Rosario, Owen Miller, and Jimenez. All these guys are fast guys. So, you know, they're just kind of one of those speed demon lineups, and they could definitely put up some runs. Like I said, if it gets to 7, I find that value. Otherwise, easy stay away spot for me. Next game, the Los Angeles Angels go to Houston where it is hot. Granted, they could close the roof and make it cooler, but ball should travel in Houston if they keep that roof open. 100 degrees, hot, humid, and the wind blowing out at 10 miles an hour. So, I mean, take it as you will. Jose Suarez and the Angels plus 205 dogs against Framber Valdez and the minus 247 Houston Astros. I'm not going to take Houston any spot there, especially at home. They're probably not going to get all 8 bats, so expecting them to hit and cover a run line would be tougher. However, I did find value on Houston over 4.5. You could also probably make the case that the over 8 would work, but I put Houston at 4.5 at minus 120. Let's see how that has done since. Line movement. It's at 4.5 at minus 115, so even more value. I like 4.5. I think Houston's going to hit Suarez hard. They've got a tough lineup to face. I mean, you start the lineup, Jose Altuve hits lefties. Jeremy Pena, one of the Rookie of the Year candidates, hits lefties. Jordan Alvarez, a lefty that hits lefties. Gurriel, pretty much a lefty specialist. I get he's an everyday kind of guy, but he definitely does well against lefties compared to righties. And then Kyle Tucker, another lefty that hits lefties well. So no easy outs really in that lineup. They've been hitting the ball very well. They're in very good form. Houston WRC Plus is number 2. They're number 2 in ISO. Pretty much number 2 in everything behind Milwaukee, who's just on another planet hitting the ball right now. But Houston's right there with them. I can't see a situation where they're not putting up runs today. So yeah, that's that. Moving forward, Baltimore and the Twins. I do not have a play for this. This was pretty much an easy step away game. We got Tyler Wells facing Devin Smeltzer and the Twins. Listen, Wells, I think, is the better pitcher here. He's just kind of, it's tough to back the O's on the road because you never know what kind of O's team you get. They have guys that up and down the lineup they can hit. They can put up runs and they can beat anybody on any single night. However, you don't know if that's what you're going to get. Sometimes you get these O's that just blow leads, and you know their bullpen's good. They blow leads. They've blown 2 leads already against the Twins this series. Just an easy stay away spot for me. I'd say the value is on the Orioles because they have been in good spots and they're plus 138 here. Over under set at 9. Too high for me. Just an easy stay away spot. I would lean Orioles, though, that being said. Next game. What's the next game? All depends on what this thing lays out as the next game. The Red Sox going to Chicago. They're facing, I think it was Keegan Thompson. Yeah, they're facing Keegan Thompson. Connor Siebold on the bump for the Red Sox. He got hit hard. Got to be honest with you. If I'm looking at a team with value, it's Chicago. The Red Sox can hit, and we know they can hit. The wind's blowing in Chicago. Keegan Thompson, I think, is the better pitcher of the two. That's easy to see on all of his stats. but he's facing the harder lineup for sure. So, where do you put that? I'll tell you, I think that the Cubs, if you look at the stats, Cubs have been a very hot hitting team over the last 2 weeks. WRC plus, they're number 5. ISO, they're probably not as top notch here. Yeah, no, they go off the reservation when it comes to ISO. Let's check WOBA though. WOBA, they're in the top 5. I mean, they're a hitting team. They're definitely a hitting team. Not as much power, but got a lineup coming out with Ortega, Contreras, Happ, Wisdom. 1 through 4, decent. You don't know what the Red Sox are going to bring out, but with your basically better pitcher and a hot lineup, a pick 'em at home, I would say that's about as much value as you can get. So I would lean Chicago here. Overall, just a stay away spot, but definitely a lean in Chicago. Moving forward, I hate how I always have to scroll down to get my games. All right, next game, Arizona Diamondbacks playing the Colorado Rockies. We have Zach Gallen on the bump facing Chad Kuhl. Chad Kuhl's a guy, obviously, last week he had a really good start. I think he went complete game. And then, kind of got the stench of gas can off him. I still think he's that guy. He's a guy that I like targeting, and he's been profitable targeting. Along with a guy like Gallen, who I think is just night and day a better pitcher. His hard hit rate of 32.7% is pretty damn good. But the Rockies hit. So you got to kind of, I went with the better pitching. I took the Diamondbacks at minus 120 at open. Now, currently, I think that's gotten stained a little bit. No, actually, I'm showing the Diamondbacks at minus 115 favorites, so even more bits of value there. I'm telling you, I just think Zach Gallen is a better guy. He's got a bad ERA, and I think there's a lot of recency bias with these two teams. I think Gallen, if you look at his month of June, he basically had a good month of June up until he faced the Padres for the second time within a week. They hit him hard the second time. I think that happens compared to a guy like Chad Kuhl, who just threw a complete game. People are kind of high on him. I'm not a Chad Kuhl guy. I think that he can get shelled pretty easily. You can do first 5 if you'd like. I think that eliminates the bullpens, but then again, Rockies got a horrible bullpen, so do the Diamondbacks, so you're kind of, you might get lucky on the end there. You might be limiting yourself if you do a first 5, but can't tell you what to do. I think as long as you got a first 5 money line or a money line around minus 120, I think that's good value. Over-under for that game, I get it's in Coors. Let me check the weather for you. In Coors, wind negligible, nothing much, 90 degrees, so the ball could carry, but it's just one of those stay-away days for me as far as the over-under goes for Colorado. I think it was like 11.5 or 12. Just way too high for me. Moving forward, wrapping it up here, actually, pretty much. We only got 4 games left. Chicago White Sox and Giolito going against, I think it was Brebbia and the San Fran Giants. Yeah, Brebbia and the Giants. Looks like a bullpen game from the Giants. When they do that, you never know what you're going to get. I think they do have a good bullpen, and the White Sox have somewhat struggled to hit. They have a lineup that's capable of hitting for sure. They're one of the more disappointing teams, I would say, this year because they just continue to find ways to play under 500 ball. They got Giolito. Can he come back? Can he look, somewhat elite? Maybe. I'm just going to stay away from this because like I said, it's a bullpen game. So matchups are going to be tough. Over under set at 8, I think for San Fran, that's fair. Just overall easy stay away spot for me. San Diego and the Dodgers. We have got Mackenzie Gore going on the bump against the Dodgers with Clayton Kershaw Clayton Kershaw's a minus 200 favorite. Plus 167 on the dog. Over under set at 8. Easy stay away spot for me. I feel like you're going to always pay an extra tax on the over and on the Dodgers money lines when you're dealing with Dodger games. And I got to say, the Padres, I mean, that didn't take long for them to cool down, did it? They were on kind of cloud nine, hitting the ball for a couple weeks there, and they've gone silent since. So not, the Dodgers being at home, that they got to obviously kind of get the nod as who I think wins tonight. But at the same time, I'm not going to minus 200 on a favorite, and I'm not going to take a run line on a home favorite because you're probably not going to get all 9 bats. Over under set at 8. Kershaw could look elite. Gore could look elite. You never know what you're going to get with those guys. So overall, easy stay away spot. Next game, Oakland and Frankie Montas going to Seattle and playing Robbie Ray. Over under set at 6.5. That is low, even for these two pitchers. I'm not going to take the over. I'm going to stay away from it because I think I've got enough action for what I'm comfortable with today. I think volume is our enemy. But over 6.5 with Frankie Montas and Robbie Ray, that's low, especially Robbie Ray. I'm not really convinced that he's what he showed last year. And Frankie Montas, I think he's one of the better pitchers in the league right now. He's definitely going to be the hottest pitching commodity to get at the trade deadline coming up here in the next month. Easy stay away spot for me. I'm showing Oakland it's still sitting at the open at plus 130. Seattle's minus 155. Value, if you have to have a side, I would say Oakland. But I'm not trying to back the A's on any occasion. Last game of the night, we have the St. Louis Cardinals going against Philadelphia. The Phillies, Adam Wainwright on the bump for the Cardinals, and Zach Wheeler on the bump for the Phillies. Currently seeing Cardinals plus 133 underdogs and Philly a minus 155 favorite. Over under set at 7.5. These two teams really hit the hell out of the ball yesterday. I think the game ended like 10-9 or something like that. A lot of runs scored, a lot of bullpen arms used, especially if you're the Cardinals. They used pretty much all of their studs in the bullpen. They're facing Philly, who lately has had a harder time hitting the ball. The Cardinals, decent, I guess you could say. They're kind of middle of the pack in hitting, but Philly has definitely taken a kind of a cooler, if you will, at the plate. I'm just going to stay away from these guys, honestly. It's nothing crazy here. And I'm, like I said, where the lines already are, I feel like that's fair. So that's the slate, guys. That, like I said, not a lot of, I mean, volume-wise, you're not trying to play a lot of action. I think I gave plenty of plays today, plenty of leans. Let me go back over the official plays with you. I have Miami minus 120 on the money line. I have the Rangers plus 125 on the money line. I have Houston over 4.5 runs today against the Angels. Leans after that, I think there's value on Chicago Cubs at close to a pick'em. I think there's value. Oh, yeah, no, there was another play that I made, Arizona minus 120. I somehow skipped that one. That's at minus 115 now, so definitely some more value there. But I think Zach Gallen's definitely better. That's a bad price for Gallen. Other leans, lean that over 7 if you see it for the Yankees and Cleveland. 7.5, I'd stay away. Over 7, that's something that I'm interested in. And that's it. Once again, I would like thank you guys for all joining me. I hope I can bring some type of insight and definitely some at least knowledge in the game of baseball and baseball betting. By all means, like the page, subscribe to the page so you guys can get notified every single time that we are on. We're going to try to post videos more and more, and as always, they are always going to be free, and we're going to cover the entire slate most of these nights. Is what it is. best of luck to everybody and happy 4th. Make sure you stay away from the fireworks if you don't know what the hell you're doing. Sit on the beach, get a drink, soak up some sun, get sun drunk. That's what I plan on doing. But anyways, that was a 25-minute video. Kept it right under 30 minutes like I asked. Get this video out and get it out by noon. We'll be in good shape. All right, guys. Hope everybody has a good day and good luck.